everybody, welcome back to RoyalBluFX. In today's video, we're going to talk about what healthy order flow is versus unhealthy order flow in the markets. We're also going to talk about what order flow is exactly in a nutshell and how to identify it and how you can use it. So without any further ado, let's begin. All right, so what is order flow exactly? If you don't really understand what order flow is, please refer to my link over here. There's going to be a banner running over here, but go ahead and click over that. But in a nutshell, order flow is essentially an interaction between buyers and sellers in the market. If you want to understand it more clearly or to get a better understanding of it, order flow is essentially mitigation, and mitigation is order flow. Now, what do I mean by that? As you can see this diagram here, you see where price is pushing bullish. You can see that price is breaking above structure, price is coming to mitigate, right? Price is breaking above a high again, price is retracing back and mitigating. So essentially, price is just breaking, mitigating, breaking, and mitigating. You can see that there's order flow happening in here. Then all of a sudden, price shoots up to the upside like this, right? Leaving a huge imbalance between the buyers and the sellers, right? Buyers bought price so high. Now we're waiting for price to retrace for the sellers to give the sellers a chance to come in and fill out this huge imbalance to come and mitigate this last position before prices look to continue to the upside like this. All right. So if you need to understand again what order flow is, it's just price breaking and mitigating. It's essentially order flow. Order flow is mitigation, and mitigation is order flow. All right. Also, order flow is builds liquidity in the market, which we're also going to talk about in this video as well. But I'm going to show you guys in this video also how to identify order flow in the market and how you can use it to the best of your abilities in the markets for your trading. All right. But first of all, I want to talk about what healthy order flow is versus non-healthy order flow. All right, so as you can see this diagram in here, you can see that we're specifying that this is healthy order flow. And you might be asking, well, what is healthy order flow exactly? Well, healthy order flow essentially is every time prices are retracing, let's say in this case when prices are retracing like this from a downtrend, we're looking to enter the markets here at a demand level like this. What we as traders are anticipating is we're looking for prices to break at least once, at least a couple of times in the market, right? Showing us that prices are bullish, breaking above the previous high, which would be right there, something like this, okay, like that, just to show us that prices are going to be reversing, pushing bullish, all right? And then what we're essentially looking for is for at least 2 or 3 breaks of structure in the market. As you can see, it is shown here. There's 1, 2 breaks, right? And after that, after the second or 2 breaks of structure, or the third break of structure, we're looking for price to extend, fully extend to the upside. Now, the reason for that is because this is healthy order flow, is because this is a good indication for us in the market that prices are intending to push higher and faster, so we don't have to be limited in seeing price breaking and mitigating, breaking and mitigating, breaking and mitigating over and over, because it'll show us as traders that price isn't really wanting to push further to the upside, right? Price is lagging to push to the upside. As far as this move here, you can see the price is showing us that it's deemed to break above that next major high, which would be right over here, right? So what our intention is as a trader, and what we're anticipating, is we want this huge extension, this huge leg that's pushing all the way to the upside. All right, and this is what's considered healthy order flow in the markets. Now, if you, and obviously as a trader, I'm going to talk about how you can identify this. Well, it's very easy. When you're looking at this diagram here, you can easily see how whenever the price tends to break above a high like this, right, and is looking to extend fully like this, you can see this in a clear naked eye, how price is actually reacting in this sort of manner here. Anyone can see if price is overextending like this. You can tell yourself, oh my goodness, that is a healthy order flow, right? And this is how we can be able to tell ourselves, okay, well, now we see that there's a huge imbalance in the market here, that now we know when price eventually breaks that high here, right, we can wait for and expect for prices to come back and do what exactly? Coming back and mitigate. All right, once prices come and mitigate, we know now this is that order flow is mitigation, and mitigation is order flow. It's closing its last order before continuing up to the next move, right? Potentially back up to the next high, breaking above this high, and that's what we're essentially looking for prices to do in the market. Okay, so let's show you what a unhealthy order flow is in the markets. Let me just move myself here. Okay, that is actually there. There we go. So here's what unhealthy order flow is in the market. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, what are you talking about? This is actually, this looks good to me, right? We're essentially seeing price pushing up. Isn't that good enough? Not necessarily, and I'll tell you why. Let's pretend again that we're coming down from on a downtrend like this, right? Actually, let's just do this, like this. Okay, where we're coming from a downtrend like this, and you can see prices pushing up like this. This to me tells us, or not just to me, but to a lot of other traders, this tells us that price is having a hard time pushing to the upside, that it's not quite giving us the promise that we're looking for to see and to hold this trade entirely all the way up to the demand area here, or to the supply area like this. Okay, so if we were to look to buy here at an area of demand, all right there, let's change this color like this. Say that price came to a demand area here, right, and we're now looking to take an entry here once prices change, once we get that famous chalk that we all love here, right? Once we get that chalk, we look to enter, right? We enter here, and we're looking to hold price from this low to this high right over here to the supply zone, right? Once we see prices doing this, and this tells us that price is struggling to get up to the supply area, and the only reason why is because this is a big key factor here, is because what price is doing, it's creating liquidity in the markets. Okay, so we know in the markets that all this is considered to be a trend liquidity in the market. Okay, and what you can specifically look at here and think to yourself is that when price is creating liquidity, price is generating liquidity in order for other traders, for the buyers in this case, to be taken out, right? To take out all their stop losses from all these lows that you see here and here, right? Here, 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 everywhere that you see a low here, right? Those are areas where buyers have bought, and those are the areas where people have put their stop losses right below, right? So the market's intention is to come against all this unhealthy order flow, right, and to take you out as a trader, or whatever, right, to take you out, and then to continue direction either bullish again like this, and then come and take another dump, selling off like this, right? Why? Because you see that order flow has started from these highs here. You can see that there's a break of structure like this. You can see there's a high, there's a low, high and a low. Right here, prices have mitigated right there, right? Mitigated the supply zone here. Excuse me, I cannot for the life of me do this if I'm over there. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Here we go. What we're going to expect here is for price to mitigate, to come back and retrace, to mitigate, right? Now you can understand the problem here, right? Prices are breaking, mitigating, breaking, mitigating. We're getting at least 2 breaks of structures. Sometimes we can get a third break of structure like this, breaking, mitigating, before price takes off, just like that, okay? And that is what's considered to be a good healthy order flow in the markets, right? You can see the whole interaction that's happening in here and between this, right? Between the demand here and between supply here. You can see that unhealthy order flow is pushing to the upside, healthy is pushing to the downside, right? When there's a lot of imbalance or huge imbalance left in the markets, that tells us as traders that prices have been broken aggressively, and that now orders need to be refilled back in with the sellers coming, with buyers coming in. So that can give the sellers another chance to come in and push the prices down aggressively, right? So unhealthy order flow isn't a bad thing either, though. Let me just tell you why. Okay, so let's just picture that this here was the higher time frame, right? Okay, and say that we're on the 4 hour, for example. If we're looking at an extreme high and extreme low on the 4 hour here, we're picturing that this is the 4 hour supply and this is the 4 hour demand here. You can picture that whenever there's a break of structure like this, or a chalk in this case, right? We can picture and tell ourselves, okay, well, we know we can come and enter here on the 15-minute time frame, right, or the 1 minute time frame to look for buys here. Once we're looking for buys here, we can tell ourselves, okay, well, when we're buying here, we're going to be targeting this high here, all right, and then we can keep buying, right? We can keep buying and buying and buying, but just as long as we know that we're finally getting that hint that we're actually in a unhealthy order flow, that hey, we're part of a unhealthy order flow, that price will come and eventually take us out because there's so much liquidity on the sell side here, right? So when we're looking to buy, we can buy TP at the next high, right? Buy here again, TP at the next high, buy here, TP at the next high. And it is just as long as we know that we're in an unhealthy order flow, right? So when prices are going up, right, our intention is really to wait for that first break of structure right here, again, and hold all this at the supply level. Because once we find and we spot that healthy order flow after the first, second, and or third break of structure, that's when we can finally tell ourselves, okay, now I can see that prices in a healthy order flow, if prices do intend to push bullish like this the rest of the way to that next supply zone, okay? But if you keep seeing this unhealthy order flow like this, then eventually you have to, psychologically and hypothetically think here that, hey, we're in an unhealthy order flow. We can still buy these lows and highs just like this, right? Just like this. But eventually we'll have to think to ourselves, hey, we're not in a healthy order flow, we got to get out, right? So let me go show you guys what that looks like in a live chart example here. Let's start all the way over here and let's look for a good area to look to potentially enter in. Okay, so let's just look at this area here. We see that there's a break of structure, okay? And let's get out of this here. Something like that, okay? And once you see this area here, you can see how the order flow is starting to change, okay? You can see that we have a high and a low, and a high and a low, okay? And price is finally retracing here, and you can see that there's liquidity sitting at these highs here. There's also what's considered to be inducement right over here as well. We're not going to go too much into details about all this other little detail, but we're just mainly need to talk about and focus on the order flow here. Okay, as you can see over here, just looking at this information, you can see how order flow has started to change. You can see that there's a high and a low, right? There's so much imbalance here, right? Prices just went bearish here, okay? And you can see how there's so much unhealthy order flow right at the highs here. You can see the price is going down, up, down, right? And all of a sudden, prices, boom, pushed all the way down. So what did this create? It created a bunch of internal liquidity, right, for this move here to take out all this internal liquidity. Same thing at the highs. You can see that at the highs, there's a lot of external liquidity in here as well. The price will come and eventually take out. All right. Let's just focus on this move here because I really want to show you guys how this works. Okay. As we are seeing this, we are now waiting patiently for price to come and tag this high here. All right. Once price is tagged, I want you to watch now how price starts to change and how order flow begins. All right. From this high here, what we're anticipating is for price to come down and break this low. Okay, what we're expecting here is a break and mitigation, break and mitigation, break and mitigation, at least 2 or 3 times in the market. Okay, now, and then we're going to look at how price extends, or if it even extends, overextends, right? This is where price shows us that imbalance. Okay, so there's that first break of structure that has happened there. Okay, in fact, the first break of structure has actually happened internally here. You can see it right there. There's a low, and a high. Let's make this a little bit more clear here. Actually, let's just do this, low and high, okay? And then this is the next low, this is the next high here, okay? So we can take this out altogether because that is our major break of structure. There is the next break of structure right there. So this would be a BOS, and this would be another BOS, like that, okay? So you can see there's one break of structure that has happened already, right? There's the second break of structure. All right, and let's look at the third break of structure, which would be right down here. Okay, now watch what happens. All right, if my thing can play there. Okay, there we go. Okay, watch how price just overextends, right? You can see how price just left so much imbalance on both of these breaks, this break and this break here. You can also tell that price is very healthy. Price just went break, mitigation, break, mitigate. Oh, excuse me. Let me do this again. Break, mitigation, break, right? 50% mitigation, right there. Didn't fully mitigate this entire block, which is okay, right? Price is reacting off to a break over here. So break, mitigation, and then boom, right? Price just continues here. And this is what's considered an amazing healthy order flow, and this is what we're expecting for as traders. This is what we'd like for price to do, right? If price was, God forbid, choppy like this, right, and stopping like this, you can tell that price is just going to come right back up and take out all this internal liquidity here, right? Then price stops right over here, pauses, mitigates something in here. Let's just say, maybe this entire order block like this, and then pushes prices up like this. That would be terrible, right? So this is how you can tell healthy flow versus unhealthy order flow. Let's look at this right here. Let's look at this example. Okay, price is mitigating an order block right here. All right, right there. You can see that from the first break of structure, we had a complete break there. All right. And what we're expecting is just to see healthy order flow. All right. Let's look over here. There's one, right? There's two. Okay. And there, the third one hasn't happened just yet, but it doesn't have to be a third one. It could be just 1 and 2 and just go, right? Let's see what happens. Okay. Notice how price is breaking, mitigating, breaking, mitigating, breaking, then mitigating here, right? Let's just continue to watch what happens here. Okay. So price is just creating so much liquidity in here. You can see there's liquidity in there and all this in here. Okay. And look at what happens, right? Obviously, we're selling against the trend. We're buying against the trend, but I really want you to see what price is doing here. Price is actually coming to fill in all this imbalance here, take out all this liquidity, and then go back to the opposite direction. You can see this order block here was not mitigated right at this high here. That's why price came in, reacted to this order block, and went to take all this liquidity, this external liquidity. And the reason why we call it external liquidity, because we're selling right now. So let's look at it again, okay? What happened at this high here? You can see again, we had a break of structure, 1, 2, right, 3, and then price just extends. This is considered healthy order flow in the market for us. This is what we love, okay? And now we can expect again that prices should come back to an area where price is overextended, where price left so much imbalance in the market that price needs to fill in, all right? Price can also come back to areas, retrace back to areas where there's a bunch of liquidity, where there's a bunch of bad order flow, right? I haven't seen bad order flow except this piece of information here. This data is because this is very choppy, right? Very choppy, and there's a lot of liquidity left in there. So let's look at it again, okay? Price came in mitigated. Let's use a better zone for this. Okay, there we go. Price mitigated. What did it do? It just gave us one break of structure. All right, and it didn't really create anything in here, so price just reversed and left more imbalance in the markets. So we know we have 1 and 2 these two areas here to look for in terms of price to come in and meet those areas. Okay, price is retracing. Notice when it's retracing, it's not really giving us any healthy order flow right now. Prices haven't really settled in. There's one break of structure, there's two breaks of structure, right? Let's see what price does from here, happens from here. I know we're looking for sells, right? There's your main area of supply here. Okay. Let's go for the supply level here. All right, we had the first break of structure there. Okay, so nothing too much has happened yet. Okay, price is pushing up. Okay, so we got lows, highs, lows, and highs. Okay, we still have this last area of supply here, right there. Okay, price deciding to push down still. Okay, there we go. All right, we had that first break of structure here, 1. We had another one here, 2. Okay, and look at what happens. Price is leaving a lot of imbalance. This can tell us that there's a healthy order flow in here. It's not giving us a chance to enter in the markets, okay? And that's it, right? So if you guys were to look for healthy order flow, just make sure and spot the healthy order flow versus unhealthy order flow, because a lot of this you can use to your own advantage too, right? Whenever you find imbalance in the markets like this, lows and highs, you can see that a lot of order flow, a lot of this healthy order flow needs to be filled in. Okay, that's where the orders have taken off from, right there, right? Let's wait patiently, wait to see what prices do here. Okay, watch how we get one of these supply zones come to mitigate, and we're going to watch how prices react to it when prices get to that level. All right, nothing is happening here. You can see a lot of choppiness is happening here, a lot of bad order flow, right? So eventually this will be run and taken over. Okay, it's still doing it. Look at this. It's not extending. It's just choppy, right? So much liquidity is here. We know that price will be taken out like so, right? You can see this. This high right over here took out all this internal liquidity here from this area over here and pushed price a little further down, right? Watch this. Price is pushing even higher, right? Why? Because we have a lot of imbalance that we need to fill out, right? And we can see that the healthy order flow has been given to us here, right? So therefore this unhealthy order flow needs to be taken, right? And we need to come and mitigate the last highs. Let's see, maybe I see some imbalance there, so there's a potential that price will come in there too. We also need to be spotting the inducement as well. See, this could have been inducement in the market where it comes and mitigates this level, right? And we're just looking for price to drop now, one of these levels, right? You can see so much unhealthy order flow is happening in here though too, where price will come and run eventually, right? We're just waiting for prices to mitigate the last order block. And why was that not mitigated? Okay, because I marked it wrong. It was actually right there. Okay, there we go. So we can take these out of the equation, right? These are nothing, right? It filled out all this imbalance, right? And mitigated this last high, and it pushed prices down. All right, and so once prices came down like this, now we can look for the break of structures. We had one right there. Okay, we have the second one right here. Okay, and now let's look out for the prices to break and mitigate. You can see there's a lot of imbalance that's showing over here, right? All this imbalance is actually filling in here, and now we're expecting for price to drop here once prices fill all this imbalance. Okay, let's look over here. Okay, there's an order block over there, so we'll see if price is coming in. Oh, I see this other one right here, over here actually, right there. Okay, so there we go. Look at that. See, now all the imbalance is showing us a huge imbalance, a lot of healthy order flow. If we go right here, you can see that we had a one break of structure, second break of structure, and sometimes it can be two break of structures where prices you know, will come. It won't mitigate right after the second, and it'll just take off like this, right? Based off of how the markets are moving. Okay, there's our area of demand, right? And then we know we're in a downtrend here. We're not going to be buying, obviously. But there you go, guys. That's a simple in a nutshell. That's how order flow is defined in the markets, all right? If you guys like this video, please throw a huge thumbs like on this video, and definitely comment on this video. Let me know what you guys think. I really appreciate you guys' time, and I'll see you guys in the next video.